Hello everyone, and welcome back to this bonus episode of Pulp Crazy. I'm your host, Jason Aiken. In this special edition, I will be discussing With Dust Their Glittering Towers by Christopher Paul Carey. It's a short story that has been recently published in The Many Tortures of Anthony Cardno by Talekyn Press. The anthology is edited by Anthony Cardno, and all stories feature a tuckerized version of him. All sales proceeds of The Many Tortures of Anthony Cardno go directly to the American Cancer Society's Relay for Life. While Christopher Paul Carey's name is no stranger to pulp fans, we are shown a different style in With Dust Their Glittering Towers. This is the first story in what Chris refers to as the fly-leaf cycle. It's a piece of historical fantasy set in Highgate, London, during the Victorian Era. The story focuses on Alicia Leath, a young woman who is a member of the Bacon Society of London. The Bacon Society is dedicated to studying and investigating the life and works of noted English philosopher, scientist, politician, and author Francis Bacon. He lived from 1561 to 1626. It is believed by some that Bacon wrote some or nearly all of the plays attributed to William Shakespeare. As a matter of fact, the story's title is a nod to a verse from Shakespeare's The Rape of Lucrece. Bacon was the first scientist to be knighted and later became a baron and a viscount. Bacon died of pneumonia in Highgate at the Earl of Arundel's house on April 9, 1625. Ironically, this may have been due to him experimenting with snow, using it to preserve the flesh of a slaughtered hen. But did he really die? In With Dust Their Glittering Towers, the lead character, Alicia, actually travels to Arundel House to investigate the historical site. I would ballpark the events of With Dust Their Glittering Towers as occurring in November or December 1888. A reference to the Whitechapel killings helps establish this. There is also a nice reference made to H. Rider Haggard. Alicia Leath published the first part of A Tale of Three Lions, an Allan Quatermain adventure by H. Rider Haggard, in the October 1887 edition of Atalanta. According to the Fiction Mag's Index, Atalanta was a children's magazine. Chris is pretty well known in pulp circles for his work set in Philip Jose Farmer's Cocarsa series, whether it be co-writing The Song of Quasin with Farmer, or writing Exiles of Co., the prequel to the Cocarsa series, on his own. With Dust Their Glittering Towers, he writes in a style more akin to classic literature. It's a third-person perspective, but written in the present tense. If you read his Victorian crossover short story, Caesar's Children, it's very similar to the style he uses in this new story. With Dust Their Glittering Towers has a lot of things going for it. It's obviously very well researched for one. I learned a great deal about Francis Bacon and his followers just by reading the story. Chris does a great job dropping these historical nuggets into the story without slowing it down or detracting from the ongoing plot. These historical references serve to further enrich this weird adventure tale. The lead character of Alicia Leath is also quite interesting. I don't want to spoil the story, but she gets put into some strange situations and encounters some weird people and objects during the course of her investigation at Arundel House. I also enjoyed the ending and the possibilities it brings for future stories set in this historical fantasy series. If you're a fan of Victorian literature and weird tales, I think you will really enjoy this short story. I went in knowing nothing about Francis Bacon or the Baconian movement, but by the time I was finished I felt I had a solid understanding of both, and read a great piece of fiction on top of that. I think Philip Jose Farmer fans will also get a kick out of this, due to the parallels that can be drawn between the followers of Francis Bacon and fans of Philip Jose Farmer's Wold Newton concept. The Many Tortures of Anthony Cardno is available on Amazon in both a paperback and Kindle ebook. I'll put a link to them in the show notes. It looks like there's a lot of interesting stories in there, besides With Dust Their Glittering Towers. Plus, the proceeds go to a good cause. I'll also include links to other stories written by Chris that are available on Amazon, so be sure to check those out. Thanks for tuning in for this bonus episode. Pulp Crazy is located at pulpcrazy.com. I'm at Pulp Crazy on Twitter and facebook.com/pulpcrazy. My YouTube channel is youtube.com/pulpcast. You can also email me at pulpcrazy@gmail.com. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.